Raj. How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah, actually, I'm Ashley, and I saw a few of your videos on YouTube.
Okay.
So I wanted to quickly connect with you, and there was an incident which happened with me. So I wanted to, kind of discuss that as well. Is it a good time to talk?
Yeah, we can talk. Tell me.
Okay. So my situation is 2 years back. So it was the last week prior to the lockdown hitting. So 16th of March, we were looking out for property around the Andheri Goregaon side.
2 years back means 2020?
2020, March of 2020.
Okay.
Right. So I had one broker who's like a close family friend who showed few places. So we got to know about SUNTECC CITY in Goregaon.
So this was just before lockdown or this was during lockdown? What happened?
This is just before lockdown.
Just prior to the lockdown?
Yes.
Okay.
So like from beginning of March, I was looking out for property to shift to. And then on the 16th of March, I happened to visit SUNTECC CITY, which is in Goregaon West. They have a ODC project called Avenue 4. Right. So I went there and I
Goregaon
saw...
West, ODC is Oshiwara District Center?
Yes, Oshiwara District Center.
Okay.
This is close by to Ram Mandir.
Yeah, Ram Mandir station.
Yeah. So I went to see it. I was shown a demo and all those things. So I quite liked the property and things like that. So we were having a discussion with the sales executive. And at that point of time, my requirement was that I wanted to go for something which I do not have to pay immediately because I am staying on rent. So my criteria was to go for something which will have a bank subvention plan where I need to pay around probably 5 or 10% now, and the remaining would the loan EMIs would start after the possession is handed over. So that was one of my criteria. So when in this particular project, that is what was promised, that this is the bank subvention plan which is available. So we saw the project and everything looked good. However, there was only one factor, which was that whether I would be able to get loan sanction approved, given the pricing of the flat and the other things. Right. So I was assured by the sales executive that no need to worry because they had similar cases and I would be able to get a loan. I provided all the details in terms of my salary and all those things.
How much was what was the consideration value you said?
It was 1 crore 63, 1.63.
1.63.
Yeah, this was
1 crore 63 lakhs.
Yeah, this was without any subvention plan, right? And to add to the subvention plan, then it was an additional 15 to 18 lakhs.
Okay, so they are going to charge you for that subvention.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so the consideration value was applicable only if I went with the regular construction link plan.
Okay.
But if had I opted for bank subvention plan, then there was an addition 15 to 18 lakhs which would be added to it.
Okay.
So I was little hesitant in terms of, because I knew that I had tried earlier as well, and I already had discussions with bank folks and all, and I knew that how much loan sanction I would be getting. Right. So I was told that I was also introduced to one of the bank representatives who was there at the site. Okay. And he took all my details, and then he said mostly it should be done. There will not be any issues and things like that. And,
but how much loan were you eligible for?
The loan I was eligible for, actually I needed a loan of almost like 1.4.
1.40?
Yeah.
1.40 lakhs?
1.40.
Okay.
Yeah. So based on that, I had provided all the details and things like that. And once that was handed over to the official...
So you got a loan sanction for that much?
No. The loan was not sanctioned. That is the amount that I wanted the loan to be sanctioned for. Right? This whole discussion happened at the site itself.
Okay.
And SUNTECC City, the sales executive also informed me that they also have a tie-up with another banking institution, and I was told that in case if for whatever reason I do not get a loan sanctioned from any of the other banks, their own financial institution which they have a tie-up with, they would be able to issue the loan. Right, so it was more like a
which financial institution is that?
Star Trek.
Pardon?
Star Trek.
Star Trek.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then they handed over a form saying that. So I wanted some time to kind of consider in terms of whether this would be possible or no. But then I was told that this is just 1 or 2 units which are remaining. And the price that they were offering me was only for the next 24 hours. At the moment, like I go out and I come the next day, then the price would have increased.
Now that is itself an unfair trade practice.
Okay.
See, when you are taking a long-term decision like this,
right,
putting an element of time pressure on you.
Correct.
Okay, and that too so much time pressure.
Yeah.
They are not giving you 3 days to consider. They are not giving you 1 week to consider. They are giving you 24 hours to consider.
Yeah.
So that amount of time pressure on a person is itself, sign that something is going wrong.
Yeah.
Because if you are going to take a decision, 1.63 CR, paying off that loan is going to occupy the major part of your productive life. Next
Correct.
30 years, I should think.
True.
Okay, so how old are you now?
Now I'm 35.
You're already 35, so you'll be 65. You'll have retired before you pay off the loan.
Right.
So if it is such a major decision, then you cannot be asked to make such a major decision in the span of 1 day. So that is a very unethical practice. They are doing it. Many builders are doing it. It is almost a standard practice to do it, but it's unethical. Okay. Anyway, proceed.
Yeah. So that is what I was told. So they mentioned that, as I said, that if I come back the next day, then the price would increase.
So not even the next day. It is the same day. So not 24 hours.
Yeah, so as I was there like around the afternoon time, so I was told that if you come the next day, because I said I want to have a discussion with my family and evaluate the financial situation, and then I can take an informed decision.
Correct.
But then I was told that the market is, very hot currently.
So market is so hot that it is 24 hours span is too much.
Yeah, in fact, they showed me the cost sheet also where they have mentioned on top that valid only for next 24 hours.
Oh.
So that is what I was shown and told that this is how it is.
Okay.
And and then they kept repeatedly assuring me that there is no issue. Worst case scenario I can do is if I pay a booking amount, they will block the flat. And worst case scenario, if something does not work out in the future, then mention that these were the actual words that आप भी इधर हो मैं भी इधर हूँ आपका booking amount कहीं नहीं जाएगा. And the amount was 5 lakhs.
It is implied that they will refund.
Yeah, that is what I wanted to be very sure, because 5 lakhs is not a small amount. In fact, I had to arrange for that money by withdrawing some part of my provident fund.
Okay.
So it was not something that I had available with me. I had to arrange and I had to make it ready, because I knew that I wanted to buy a flat. So I had already done the arrangement like a few weeks back. Right. So the reason why I wanted to take time is to be 100% sure that there is no complication in terms of the loan, because I had a question mark behind that. Right? But then I was assured
they did not clearly tell you that your money will be forfeited.
No,
they kind of led you to believe.
No, there was nothing mentioned about in fact, that was a question which I had, which I in fact asked this very question, that what if tomorrow for whatever reason things do not work out, then what will happen to the booking amount? So that is when the sales representative said not to worry. He assured me and said, "Sir, आप भी इधर हो, मैं भी इधर हूँ. आपका 5 लाख कहीं नहीं जाने वाला."
First of all, maybe either who is also an untruth, because the sales guys, the same team, often doesn't stay.
Yeah.
That is point one. And point two is something probably you have discovered by now. They will now refer you to CRM. The sales guy will not answer your calls, or he will not, he will refer you to someone else and wash his hands.
Yeah, so there is a story behind that as well, which I will come to.
Okay.
But yeah, that is 100% true, and I have experienced that. So yeah, so coming back to the point, right? So based on that good faith and assurance which I was handed over, that I paid I signed a check of 5 lakhs and handed over to them.
Okay.
Right, because I put a date which was 2-3 days later.
Yes.
So I was assuming that in those 2-3 days, if I get a confirmation from the bank, then it would be good for me.
Okay.
But this was 16th of March, right? And the bank representative took some time. In the meanwhile, SUNTECC CRM team also got in touch with me. So this is after the day at the time.
Banks don't give you the thing with that kind of tight deadlines normally.
No, they don't. I mean, they usually say that I will give a revert in like 2 to 3 days, but that does not happen.
Doesn't happen.
It doesn't happen. Right. So it usually takes at least minimum of 2 weeks for them to put in all the details.
They are not going to give you a loan approval letter in 3 days.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then I got an email also from the CRM team saying that this is the payment schedule and this is what you need to keep ready within 30 days for the registration and things like that, for which I clearly responded to the email saying that I am going for Bank Subvention plan, and the sale of deed or registration that I'll be doing will be subject to the sanction of loan.
Right.
And then I said,
you said Bank Subvention plan, is it?
Yes, Bank Subvention plan.
So you finally took the subvention plan, although it is, or you opted for subvention plan, although it is what?
Yes. So yeah, because the reason was that the possession was in December of 2024, and the time of booking was March 2020. So there was almost like 4 years after which, and knowing the scenario, even though there are times when the possession is delayed, I didn't want to be in a situation where I start paying off the EMI and then also have the obligation of paying my rent also.
Correct.
So it will become a big financial burden. So that was precisely, I knew I would be paying maybe 15 lakhs or something additional, but then that is something which would be accommodated as part of the loan. So that is why I was kind of okay to bear that, having the at least the assurance or the relaxation of not having to pay any pre-EMIs prior to the possession. Right. So that was my thought process.
Right. Okay.
And so I informed the CRM team that please count the 30 days once I get my sanction, because prior to the sanction, I am not in a position to go ahead with any confirmation of the purchase. Right. That is something which I had mentioned in the email, that please consider 30 days only after I get sanction letter from the bank. Right. And then exactly 22nd March, which is almost like less than a week later, we were hit by nationwide lockdown.
Right. So that is a force majeure for you.
Okay.
See, this is another thing. So let me just understand. Currently you are calling me, let me guess, you are calling me because you are not able to go through with the deal, correct?
Yes.
And they must have forfeited your 5 lakhs. They must have said your 5 lakhs are gone.
Yes, that is what they're saying.
Okay, typical. Okay. So understand this. There is a force majeure clause. Now, force majeure clause applies to both the parties.
Okay.
If there is a contract, for example, suppose you and I have a contract that you give me 10 lakh rupees and I will supply to you 10 tons of steel by tomorrow morning. Now, suppose there is an earthquake tonight. Then you cannot demand the 10 tons of steel tomorrow morning. But by
Right.
the same token, I cannot demand the 10 lakh rupees from you either.
Correct.
I can't say, why didn't you give me 10 lakhs? You will say, about
Right.
same reason you are not giving me 10 tons of steel, force majeure. So these guys have, as it is, taken extension. Have they taken an extension, this particular builder? SUNTECC?
To be honest, I have not
project?
seen that, but by the looks of it, at least what I got to know through my agent is that it may extend beyond that.
Most builders have taken 6 months, 1 year minimum extension, and often it has been 6 months, and then they have taken another 18 months, and so on and so forth. So project has been extended a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So given this scenario, you have this thing of force majeure. Because of force majeure, I am not able to go ahead with the project. What is force majeure? Force majeure is the pandemic that came, the lockdown that came affected you. And you don't have to further justify it, how it affected you, how much it affected you, whether you lost your job. That's not their concern. It affected the whole world. It has affected all of us. It is well known that it has affected all of us. Just as they are not going to say, see our steel, they don't prove, see our steel supplies were affected. They are not going to prove all that. You are also not required to prove. There is a force majeure event, like an earth. This is equivalent to a very large financial earthquake. And that's the end of that. Anyway, so second aspect. So first aspect was urgency. Second aspect was force majeure.
Okay.
So anyway, go ahead.
Right. So as soon as the lockdown hit, everything was at a standstill. So I checked with the bank representative who was trying to get the sanction letter. So they said for now they have stopped any kind of operations, and only once things open up, that's when things would start. So this prolonged, as was the case with everyone. And for the next 6 to 7 months, there was no bank operations which proceeded from the loan aspect. Right. So I was, even though it was lockdown, I was regularly in touch with the bank officials, and also I was in touch with my broker, who was in touch with the SUNTECC team. Okay, where through communication it was said that we are still working out with the bank, and it was like a known factor that there will obviously be a delay, as you mentioned, because everything was shut down. Right. So after a period of 6 to 7 months, this was around this September-October time frame, 2020. Okay, 6 to 7 months after I. Okay, just a second. I think there's a cat out there. Yeah. So 6 to 7 months after I did the booking amount, and that's when my agent was following up with SUNTECC, and that's when he was informed by the same sales executive that the bank subvention plan is no longer available with them. Subvention plan is no longer available. No longer available. He mentioned that based on some norms, he mentioned about RBI, but I was not sure.
So then further that nullifies your transaction, because the conditions on which your transaction was based were nullified. No?
Yeah, exactly. And that is the reason. I mean, it was a shock to me because
you said you are going to do it and you wanted to do it based on subvention. Now, if subvention is not available, you realize you are not able to do it.
Exactly.
And if the conditions have changed, they offered you a subvention. Again, if they hadn't offered you a subvention, then that would be a different story.
Correct.
But they offered you a subvention.
Yeah.
You accepted the subvention.
Yeah.
You accepted the subvention on their terms. You did not bargain the terms. Right? Did you write it down? Did you send them an email saying something about a subvention?
No, so they did not put it in an email, but I had responded to them in an email when I was asked to make further payments.
You've done that.
Mentioned.
You've done that, right?
Yeah, I mentioned that I am pursuing bank subvention plan as per my discussion with your sales representative, who is aware of this, and I will proceed only after I get the sanction letter. That is something which I had clearly called out in the email.
Brilliant. Yeah. That's good.
So then it came to a shock for me that they have stopped the plan. So then, because of the current situation, and also I have this my family, like I have a small kid who was at that time just 1 year old. So it was not advisable for me to go and visit the site. So my agent was, doing that for me, visiting the site and getting things and all. So agent was trying to figure out what should be the next step. Right?
Why
so
visit the site?
Because the thing was that I was trying to call them, but then
call them and say we can't do it.
Yeah. So first of all, they were not even answering my calls. I was not able to get through.
Just a sec.
Yeah.
So because I'm not sure I heard everything properly. Loan.
Yeah.
Your loan was that full loan of 1.4 that you needed was approved?
No.
Okay.
That did not happen.
What loan approval happened? Or
no, so the bank representative was still trying to figure out, because I was falling short by around 20 lakhs. So it was not officially approved, but that is what the bank representative told me, that the maximum loan that I can avail is around 1.2.
Okay. But he only indicated to you, is it? He didn't send you an email?
No, he did not send me and all. But the thing is that he mentioned that if I add my wife's income and all, then the eligibility might change. So we were also pursuing that route, right? But then in the meantime, I came to know that Bank Subvention plan itself is no longer available. So then proceeding with the sanction letter also meant nothing.
Correct.
Right. So that is what it was. And then I tried to follow up, but then there was no response. In fact, that very same sales executive was not answering my call. So through my agent had to personally visit the site to understand what is the situation, right? And that's when he was informed that the Bank Subvention plan is no longer available. But he said that
he was informed by SUNTECC.
Yes, by SUNTECC. Right.
So now they changed the condition. They offered you a certain condition. You accepted based on that condition, and now they changed the condition.
Now they changed. And in fact, they said that why don't you come down to the site, because they have some different plans which are available. Okay. So I was back of the mind. I said that, okay, let's go and see, because I've already paid 5 lakhs. And at that point of time, there was no intention for me to back out as long as they were offering me the Bank Subvention plan. Right. So I went there, I heard whatever plans they have and all. But then again, those were like plans where you have to pay 20% now, 40% after a year, another 20% after 6 months and things like that, which again was not something which I would be able to go ahead with, which I made it very clear on the table that this does not work out for me. And the reason why I had done the booking was because of Bank Subvention plan, right? So at that point also, they never gave me a clear answer. They only said that, okay, let's see, we'll work out. We'll talk to X person, we'll talk to Y person, we'll talk to someone more senior. That is all the sales executive mentioned, and said that let's say we can try out something. So till that time, they kind of still assured me that not to worry, we can still work out some plan which will fit, which will be, fitting for me as well as for them. That is what I was told. Now this thing happened again for another 2 or 3 months.
Right? Meanwhile, who was in touch with you? The sales guys, is it?
The sales guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
Same guy who had said "Tum bhi ho, main bhi hu" and all.
Same guy. Okay. And that guy is still there.
Okay.
Like he's still part of it. Right. So and this kept happening till early March 2021, and then we had the second wave of coronavirus. Right. Then again things went slow. Again, it was difficult to move out and things like that.
Right.
And that continued. And after that ended around the May and June 2021 time frame, again I started following up as to what is the situation. Then this time I faced much more difficulty, because now this time not even me, but even for my agent also, they were not responding.
Okay. They stopped picking up the call.
Yeah, they stopped taking up calls. Even WhatsApp text and all also were not being responded.
Okay.
Right. So then I had to wait to see what to do next. I was in touch with my agent only throughout. And then my agent said, let's do one thing. Since now the situation is little improved, let's go to the site again and, take a final decision on what needs to be done. Right?
But by the way, your agent is genuinely supporting you, no? He is not sort of playing along with them and playing a double role.
No, at least that's what I think so. He is like a close family friend.
Okay, fine. So he is supporting you.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and at that point of time, there was a family emergency as well, because of which I needed funds immediately. Right. So then I had gone with the back of my mind that if they don't have bank subvention plan available, then I don't want to proceed. I will ask them to return my money.
So that you will have those funds available for you.
In fact, that was something which I already, my agent had already informed them that we are coming. If there is no plan available which suits, then we would like to get our money back.
Right.
So we went there again, and then, not surprising, but again, we were offered some different plan.
Okay.
Right. Again, it was nicely decorated plan.
But did they at any point bluntly tell you, boss, we are not giving you back the money, or they just kept going, wait, why don't you?
No. They never mentioned anything about not returning the money.
Okay.
They always said that something will work out. Yeah. So then in September 2021, so we went back, and again we were given some nicely decorated plan, but again it was not bank subvention plan.
Okay.
Right, and I was told, okay, this is what you need to pay and all. Again, they told me that this is the plan which we are.
So they have kind of caught you by the tail, which is your 5 lakh rupees.
Exactly.
They are not releasing your tail, and they keep coming back to you with this plan, that plan, and the other plan.
Yeah.
But basically, the fact of the matter is they have caught you by the tail.
Yeah. And in fact, this time in September 2021, they even increased the consideration amount. So it is no longer.
Right? Okay. So now not only it is the old rate, now it is the new rate. Your 5 lakh rupees is still there, but in spite of the fact that your 5 lakh rupees is with them, they will increase the consideration amount also to further aggravate your situation.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Yeah. So
I haven't. Let me tell you one thing. On my channel, you won't find too many videos about SUNTECC.
Okay.
The reason there are a couple of them, mostly not conversations with customers. Mostly they are conversations with salespeople and things like that.
Okay.
Generally speaking, according to me, SUNTECC has had a decent rep in this respect. Okay, I have not had any situation where people come up to me and tell me that this guy has taken my money and refuses to give it back. That this company has taken my money and refuses to give it back.
Right.
So so that good thing is just changing. ठीक है.
Yeah. So then again, they changed the consideration value also. Then, it was very obvious that I wouldn't be able to go. I also explained that I have a financial situation in my family. And I said that I won't be able to proceed. So please return the booking amount. Right. So at that point of time, they tried to beat around the bush and say it will be difficult and all those things. But never was I told that it will not be done. So finally, I had to put my foot down and say that I cannot continue. Please return my money.
Which month?
This is September 2021.
Okay. So after struggling with them for what?
1.5 years.
About 15, 16 months.
Yes. Yeah. So after that, they said that, okay, I will put in a request to start the refund process. That is what I was told. So that gave me an indication that, okay, things will move in the right direction. So then
again, this was verbal or this was?
This was, everything was verbal. This was all verbal. Right. Then after another month, I followed up with my agent, and my agent said that he has spoken to the same sales executive, and they have already put in the request for processing. And that time I was told that the refund would be credited in my account, or they would give me a check maximum by end of December 2021 or Jan of 2022, which is 30-60 days after they send the request. Right? So that kind of I was, at least happy that my money would be returned, right? And then, so December, Jan 2022 passed. Okay. And then I again started following up to see where is the refund, right? And this time, then there was a complete cutoff. Again, there was no response to my emails. There was no response to my WhatsApp. Even my calls. I had called the sales executive person multiple times, almost 14 to 15 times a day.
Okay, that many.
Sent WhatsApp chats and all.
Okay.
And then to my surprise, I knew that, he's trying to avoid me. So I tried calling from an unknown number. And then immediately the call was picked up. Right? Okay. So that was not really...
Your phone they won't pick up, but someone else's phone they'll pick up. But then once they know it is you, then they'll not pick up.
Yeah. So that was really disappointing. I even told him that this is not the way you treat customers.
Right. Whose 5 lakh rupees are parked with you?
Yes, exactly.
Right.
Exactly. So till the time I was a potential customer, you treat me, very well. And the moment I want to, no, I don't want to go ahead with the sale, then you kind of avoiding my calls and all. So that was not good. Right. I sent multiple emails. I followed up. I went to the site. Okay. When I visited the site as well, there was no one to help me meet that individual also. I was told that individual is on holiday, that individual has, has some...
It is never about the individual. Actually, they keep using these individuals as excuses. He's on holiday, he's this, he's that. But it's a corporate here.
Yeah. Yeah, so if I even asked...
like a bank.
I asked them, please tell me whoever is, senior to that person.
Next in command or senior.
Yeah, but there was no one. Always I was told that so-and-so person is not available today, will be available tomorrow, next week. So this is how they kept, buying time.
Right. So this was at the sales office?
Sales, everything at the
Goregaon
sales office. Yes.
Okay.
Then I sent emails as well, and to my shock, I got to know from the CRM team that my name itself is not there in their system as per any booking done.
Okay, so that settles it. Then your money should come back if your name is not there in the system.
Yeah, and I also got to know through my agent that very unit is also sold out to some other third party.
Okay, so they can't say that you are causing any loss also.
Yeah, because when I went in September, they did not tell. So there were two towers. There were two towers, Tower A, Tower B. When I did the booking was only for Tower A, right, for which I booked the flat, right? And in September 2021, when I go back, they are showing me only Tower B, which was implied that there is nothing available in Tower A.
Okay.
Right, but they verbally did not tell me because they knew that would not be the right thing to say, that what 5 lakhs I paid for, that unit itself is no longer available.
Right.
So in a very clever way, they kind of, said that we are offering you a new plan in a new tower, and this is because we cannot offer you a different plan for the same tower. So all that, I understood that was all, rubbish.
Just thing at this point, this has the elements of a cheating complaint. It is another
I would
story.
think so.
It is another story that police is very reluctant usually to file complaints against builders. But ample elements of a cheating complaint, 420 complaint, exist in my opinion.
Yeah.
Okay.
At that point of time, that is what even I was feeling, because till that time even I felt maybe they are trying to work out things. But then as things went on, it was very evident. Because
they have taken your money. They have taken your money telling you that there was a subvention scheme.
Right.
Then they say no subvention scheme. Now whether RBI said it or whoever said it does not matter. The point is they offered you a scheme. They took your money based on a scheme. After that there is no such scheme.
Right.
Okay, point one. Then point two. You got a particular flat and the flat is not available.
Right.
So this is point two. So that said flat is no longer on the table. what we are seeing is the elements of what you call inducement. What is inducement? Inducement is you make a false offer. So, for example, suppose I tell you that I'm going to give you 100 kilos of mango at a bargain price. Okay, and then I take 1 lakh rupees from you. Suppose I tell you that I'm going to do this, then I say, no, there is no mango. I'm not in the mango business. Mango trading has been for, APMC has stopped mango trading. There is a ban on mango trading. So if I start coming up with these, it's a cheating case. Right. It's a straightforward cheating case. You have my money. You give me a reason. Now you are saying that reason is no longer valid. You stop talking to me. What is it? Cheating. Right. So it has all the elements of a cheating case, in my opinion. Of course, it is another story that police is not easy to handle, and you may have to go to a magistrate and struggle. It's a struggle for next couple of years. Okay.
Yeah, so that all happened, and then since then I've been regularly trying to get in touch. Then I also again visited the site multiple times. Then finally they had someone to talk to me who was the manager, assistant manager of that sales executive. So I explained the whole scenario. So he was kind of new, it seems, to the site.
Okay.
I explained him the whole scenario. Then he said, not to worry. I also showed him how I was not responded to. I showed him all the WhatsApp chats. I showed him all the phone calls which were not returned. Everything I showed him.
Okay.
And he said that he will let me know in the next couple of days what is the status on the refund. Right? And then again I had to follow multiple times with this person also. Finally that person, I called up the person and then he spoke to me, and then finally he said that I have spoken to XYZ person. And unfortunately, we won't be able to refund anything. And the reason they told is that your reason because it has been 1.5 years since the booking and all took place.
Okay.
So I got irritated, and I, explained to him that this is not the right thing to do, because I was in my rightful position to demand the booking amount back.
Right.
Right, because I was aware that until and unless I do not go into an agreement, there is no legal binding on me on them to forfeit any money.
Correct.
And they did not even, had it been a case of not returning the money, then they could have said that before as well.
No, and even if they said it, it would still not have been legit.
Yeah.
They didn't say it, that is another story.
Yeah.
So there are multiple things here. First of all, there was COVID. Force majeure. Force majeure is applicable to you, it's applicable to them.
Right.
Okay. So you can't hold on to a contract. Once a force majeure event happens. Point one. Point two, they said subvention, then they said no subvention.
Right.
Basically, they said no subvention.
Yes.
You had opted for subvention, it is there on record. You have sent an email saying, subvention.
Yeah.
Then they said no subvention. So that offer has been withdrawn. So they have withdrawn an offer of subvention that nullifies the transaction. There is no transaction, but it nullifies even the beginning of the transaction.
Yeah.
And
they have on record saying that there is no booking under my name. So
then there is no booking under your name. Yeah. They are saying there is no booking under your name. They have removed the flat also from the table, so to speak. The flat is not on the table, the flat that you opted for. What remains of the transaction? Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
And so, that is what I have been...
You can, of course, go to RERA. Of course, you can go to RERA. Again, same thing. There is a fight. A fight lies ahead. You will have to spend about 70,000-80,000 rupees on a lawyer. File a proper RERA case. So 6 months के बाद एक पहला तारीख पड़ेगा. There are systemic delays. Maybe after 1.5 years after the battle, you may get your money back. It is that kind of a scene that lies ahead, and these guys know it. Basically, they are exploiting the weakness in the system. They are exploiting these weaknesses in the system. Most people get tired. Most people don't have the time, bandwidth.
Right.
So, and these guys kept playing with you for such a long time.
Yeah.
Months and months, they just kept fooling you around and kept dragging you.
Yeah, and I even asked them that let me meet whoever is, in the highest position or who's making the decision.
Yeah.
Let me have a conversation. But that has not happened. I've always been told that this person is busy. This week we will try. Next week we will try. This has kept happening. And on record, they have still not mentioned that, the flat is cancelled or they are.
So now they are not corresponding with you at all?
No, not at all.
Okay, have you sent them any correspondence?
Yes, I have.
Okay, will you do one thing? Just forward your correspondence to me.
Okay.
Your email correspondence. And do you have a copy of that application form or booking form which they make you?
Yes, I have all of them.
You have that? Send that also.
Okay.
Okay. Send it to me on email or WhatsApp, whatever. Email is preferable.
Okay. Okay, sure.
And let's take a look at it and see. I will put it like this. You have a case, you have a strong case.
Mm-hmm.
The problem, so the law supports you. 100% the law supports you. There are RERA judgments, there are RERA appellate authority judgments, which have not been challenged. And these judgments or orders, as they are called, they very specifically say the logic is very clear. They cite Supreme Court judgment. The logic is like this. See, when is it legitimate to take away the other person's money? Suppose there is a contract. Then one person breaks the contract. Then there is some legitimacy in taking away the other guy's money. You put me to a loss. You, for example, you entered into a contract with me for 1 ton of iron or whatever, steel rebar or something. You sent me an advance. Then you say you cancel the order. I have already ordered. So I am put to a big loss. So I say I will not return your advance because I am going to take that for covering my loss. Then I can do that. Okay. But there has to be a contract. The contract has to be very clear. Now, contracts are not just casual. It is not a casual thing. You can't just say, oh, this is a contract, this is not a contract. There are very specific lines. Just one sec, hold on. Yeah. So transaction. Okay. So one is there has to be a contract. Now a contract is not something that casually just happens.
Right.
This contract, their contract specifically, has a lot of conditions. They have a lot of conditions. Okay. You have to pay. You have to pay at this time. You have to pay this much amount. If you don't pay according to the time schedule, then we will charge this much penalty. Blah 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 blah. So huge number of conditions. You have no condition. You have only one condition. I want a house. I want a house on possession date according to these specifications. That's it. That's your the thing. It is not any bigger than that. You are not even saying you want the walls painted yellow or pink or anything. You are not saying anything. I want a house. This many square feet. This is the layout. This is it. Finished. Your conditions are over. But this is the transaction. Now, for this transaction to happen, they should have presented all their conditions before you. You should have accepted their conditions. You should have also put forward, I want this much, this characteristic of house and so on and so forth. They should have accepted that part. Then you have the elements of a transaction.
Right.
So there is no transaction. They offered you a flat.
And so one thing also I missed to mention, that booking form also has in fine print clearly mentioned that refund is applicable if the said flat has been sold to any third party. So even if they want to argue on that,
correct.
Right? So that is also clearly mentioned.
Correct. Actually, that is not even, it's not even necessary, but okay, agreed. Even if that is also there.
Yeah, so because then there is no, even though there is nothing, even though the booking form is not any legal agreement or contract, but then on what basis are they forfeiting? Because their own booking form clearly mentions that refund is applicable if the unit is sold to third party.
Right.
So even their terms of condition also on the booking form are falling out of place.
Correct.
In this scenario.
Correct. So even their own terms, and even if that were so, they have to maintain a continuous, proper line of communication with you.
Right.
They can't be stonewalling after taking 5 lakh rupees. They can't be just falling silent, not responding, not taking your calls.
Correct.
So this is completely unbecoming, unprofessional behavior. Not something you expect from SUNTECC.
Not at all. In fact, it is becoming really difficult for me because 5 lakhs is not a small amount. In fact, I had to take a personal loan. As I told you, we had a family emergency. So I had to take up personal loan so that I could arrange for that money. So now whatever I'm paying is actually additional interest. And the more delay is happening, the more I'm losing out on money because I'm paying the interest on the loan which I've taken.
Right. Yeah, bad scene. So as I said, there are 2 remedies before you. One is RERA. Another is a police case, cheating case. If police doesn't take the complaint, typically they'll take the complaint. They just don't register an FIR. They don't call you to give a statement.
Okay.
Even if they call you to give a statement, they don't register an FIR. It's that kind of a behavior. It's called burking. Basically, police doesn't like to do some kinds of work, and they will avoid doing it. Because there have been so many instances where High Court has scolded the police, Mumbai police.
Okay.
They said, why are you not taking complaints against builders? When the elements of cheating are clear, why are you not filing an FIR? So there is a law. They have given them a lot of slap on the wrist, but unfortunately, slapping on the wrist doesn't work in our system.
Right.
Because वो सब मोटी चमड़ी है. So they don't care. They just don't.
Right.
So then your remedy will lie in exhausting the remedy of police. You should write to police. You should write to police commissioner. You should do all of that. You should do it you should complain very strenuously. Okay. And this is over and above RERA.
Got it.
Because here it is not a case of you cancelling. It is a case of them changing the condition.
Yeah.
You have cancelled because they changed the condition. So first of all, there is the element of unfair trade practice. When they put you under 24-hour pressure, that's an unfair trade practice. Okay. Nobody for such a life-changing sort of financial decision, you should never put a person under 24-hour pressure. It's an unfair trade practice.
Right.
Okay. So that itself, first of all, is not legitimate at all.
Right.
Second, they changed it, subvention. They withdrew the offer of subvention.
Right.
So that again changes the thing. Thirdly, then the flat. And then they sold the flat. And they sold the flat without informing you.
Yeah.
There is no reference to you. So if they have sold the flat without informing you, effectively they have released you from any transaction that could possibly have existed.
Correct.
Even assuming for a moment that a transaction existed, which it didn't, they've released you. So there are many reasons, multiple. They released you many times over. Get me? This is the scene. So there is no question of this thing. Now you have to take action.
Correct.
You will have to, gird up your loins and take action now.
Yeah.
You need to get done. So send me all your documents. Let me take a look at them. Okay. Let me take a long hard look and suggest some moves. Police complaint also, I can suggest some, because I have pro formas which others have used.
Okay.
Which will, of course, it will not exactly fit your case. There will be things that we'll have to add to it. We will do that. It's a serious piece of writing. You need to apply your mind to it.
Got it.
So let's do it.
Sure, sir.
Okay. Apply your mind. Let's do it. You'll have to do it now. 5 lakh rupees is no joke. Yeah? I think a middle class family will spend, I don't know, 1 year or 2 years saving 5 lakh rupees. At least that much, if not more.
Right.
It's not easy to save 5 lakh rupees. So they basically take away. How much does a Europe tour cost if your whole family goes? If you and your wife and your kids go?
Correct.
Something in that order they have taken away. They took away your Europe tour. It's that sort of thing. So it's a lot. It's a big chunk.
Yes.
You'll have to fight. That's the trouble with these big brands. They feel they are not accountable.
Yeah.
They have lost their sense of accountability. People can't hold them accountable. That's the whole feel.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so send it to me. Send me.
I will.
Let's look at it. Okay.
Sure, sir.
Sure.
Thank you so much for taking time out.
Yes.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.